It's okay.
Yeah, but with Nurse...
I normally don't get the time to, like, damage gens. Usually as artist, I'm just trying to go for chase.
You just left me alone? This Oni saw me opening a chest and just left me alone. I find that you kind of have to kick gens at times, though.
I mean, yeah, sometimes. If you're not running like the gen kicking build, there's no point even kicking a gen though.
But if you have Eruption...
I mean, so the thing is that against like a Swift on comms, Eruption's not that good. Because survivors will just call out when they go down, or about to go down, so they just get off the gen.
So what is the best gen kicking perk?
I mean, it's still Eruption, obviously, but in my opinion, the best gen kicking perk is Call of Brain.
See, I was running that, but then I was running that with Eruption, but I felt like I wasn't getting a lot of value because as soon as I'd kick it, you know, and leave, they would just come back out and tap it or get back on it, and I wasn't getting much out of Call of Brine.
That's just how it is. That's just survivors being too efficient on gens.
Yeah, so I switched it. Put 2 aura reading, 1 passive gen regression and 1 active gen regression. But with pain res, it's pretty cool because you can just keep hooking them on the Scourge hook. If you can get, like, you know, good RNG with a Scourge hook. That's still meta, isn't it? Pain res?
Yeah, of course.
But see, one of my things was I would, like, you know, kick a gen with Nurse and they'd just be hiding somewhere, you know, down, you know, around the corner or something. And I would either have to start looking for them or I would have to go somewhere else to another gen. But with this perk, you kick the gen and then you actually see their auras and you know exactly where they are.
Yeah, like that's another thing. Like sometimes, because when I play against like a comp team that like scrims or whatever, they'll just hide around the gen, and even just like trying to find them can take so much time. Because it's actually kind of easy to hide.
Yeah, and if they just walk around in circles
Yeah.
from your perspective, you can't see them. So it was annoying. I'd go from one gen, I'd kick it, I couldn't find anybody. I'd blink to the other side and kick another gen. I couldn't find anybody because they would just keep getting off the gens and hiding. So with this perk now, I just kick the gen, and if they're anywhere near, unless they're in a locker, I guess, but if they're anywhere hiding around, I know exactly where they are.
I didn't mean to make your friend leave if she left because of me.
I don't know. I didn't even notice. I don't know why people leave without saying bye or anything.
It's just, I'm sorry, it's just when she was saying she was doing that with Billy, you do realize, I think it's universally agreed upon that Billy is the hardest killer to play.
I thought it was just me, but yeah.
No, it's not you. I can't even play Billy. Like, there's way too much, like, his skill ceiling is so high, it's just crazy. Like, people, like, some of the, even the best Billy mains get, like, ran for, like, almost 4 gens sometimes. Just because of, like, how hard he is to use.
Well, I've heard of, like, people who really like to play Billy don't play him anymore because he was, like, nerfed with a cooldown or something.
Yeah, I think they hit him too hard.
I can't believe we're still at 5 gens here.
I know, I've been like... So like the thing is, like when I scrim against like that comp team I'm in, I'm like, I get such a headache on how coordinated they are. like, cause the thing is, it's like they'll like just pee on like comms, right? And then they'll have like someone wake up is a competitive perk, by the way. Like someone will just automatically just be on the exit gate and it's open in like the first 5 seconds after the first gen was, or the last generator was popped. It's like, okay.
They're already waiting at the gate.
Yeah, they're literally already waiting at the gate. I just don't understand how your friend is saying killers don't need to camp or tunnel to win.
Well, she said that she doesn't play killer much. So if you don't, like when you're new to killer, when I started and I was like, oh, okay, let me try this Bubba. Like I was slaughtering everybody.
I know, same. I thought I was so good at the game.
Until finally I like started coming in, you know, playing against people that knew how to loop Bubba, and all of a sudden I'm being like run around shack and I can't like get somebody, and then I end up getting ran for, you know, 5 gens. And then I realized, oh, okay, there's like a whole different side to this game.
Okay, after this game I'm gonna send this to you. So there's another killer main in the thing. He's actually talking about camping and tunneling right now. He's saying that killers keep playing by the survivor rulebook, and that's why they keep losing. Because camping and tunneling is an effective method, by the way. That's why again that's why killers do it. It's not to be toxic in the slightest.
Well, the thing is, if I'm playing against a team where I feel like there's not much of a challenge, then I can like lay off that.
Well, yeah, I do the same thing.
But then they'll surprise you too. You'll feel like you have the match, like in the bag, and you'll feel like you have it won. But then suddenly, like 3 gens pop back to back, like out of nowhere. It's like they're saving their brand new parts and stuff, and you know, like 1 minute you're at 4 gens, and all of a sudden, bing, 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 and they're like down on the last gen.
Because the explanation for that is it doesn't take skill to do generators. The worst survivor can be on a gen and complete it. So it's like, you see what I'm saying here? Like, unless the survivors are just, if they just know how to get on a gen when someone's in chase, you could even still lose to like the worst people. Not
yeah, all it takes is one good survivor that knows how to run you and to waste your time. Yeah, assuming you're dumb enough to chase after them, but sometimes that's the one you want to chase because they're the one that's like making it fun, like the chase. I mean, if you really wanted to play it smart, you would just like ignore that one and go for the other ones.
You go for like the weaker links.
Oh boy.
I think this, but it's just like
I'm dead.
When like the 4 survivors are like almost equally as good.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go for that one person, and then that's not even implying there's gonna be like protection hits taken, med kit, like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those are the hardest. Like when all of them are good, you chase one, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna drop chase because they got me running for too long, and then you chase another one, and they do the same thing to you, and then you try to chase a third one, and they do the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like,
so you have to pick one and just tunnel them, I guess.
To say killers don't have to or need to camp, like, it's not toxic by any means. It just depends on like how you go about it that makes it toxic, or can make it toxic.
Yeah, like if you're sitting there in their face and whacking them on the hook or whatever. It's
yeah.
But sometimes I've even done that just like, not to be toxic, but just to like make them feel pressure, like, oh, they're face camping this person, we got to save them, and like just to kind of get in their head, like mentally.
Yeah, so that's actually another competitive thing that people don't seem to understand is like sometimes even just by camping it can make that person tilted or annoyed.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
mentally you're getting in their head.
That's why, like, that's just how it is. Like, look, a deliverance. Look how like no one needed to go save her, and like everyone is, or I'm still on a gen. You see how that just saves so much time with 3 people? Like, deliverance is such a broken perk.
Yeah, and see all the like the head start you have on him. What's he gonna do? Chase you?
Yeah, that's another thing.
The other person's Rebecca's on a gen now.
Like even getting like a regular M1 hit can be like the hardest thing in the world.
And then you get it and they dead hard it or something.
Mm-hmm. I'm so... I wasn't trying to be toxic if I was to your friend, but if you're not playing in the highest MMR, you cannot say like killers don't need to camp or tunnel.
But if she hasn't played and experienced that, then she just doesn't know what we're talking about, and that's not necessarily her fault, because it's like a different game, honestly.
I know, but like she's saying, like she's Valorant as an example. I've played Valorant before. The game is sweatier than DBD. DBD is not even considered a sweaty game. Like, that's just another thing. Like, to say like competitions are like sweaty, toxic people with small dicks. Like, that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Because people play this for different reasons. Like, some people are chilling out and vibing and they just want to have fun, and other people are really trying to win, and then other people are like really, really, really trying to win.
I mean,
so people are playing it. That's why I was saying that you don't know what the other person's thinking, so you can't assume that they're thinking the same as you.
I mean, but that's not really fun. You're playing Billy to like get chainsaws, but the fact that you beat everyone by only hitting M1s, like, those people were not good.
Yeah, well, she said it was like her first or second time playing Billy. I have a dep Billy, and I can't hit anything with the chainsaw.
Yeah, exactly. Like to say that the prestige number means something, because it doesn't. Like, it just doesn't. Casuals. Oh. Hey, look at this. This Oni, he's not even like that good. To think that like if he used his power to like camp someone that he got on the hook, it would have been a completely different game. Cause like you even said it yourself, it's like the first game you played, like all these killers are proxy camping. I guess this is high MMR. It's like, yeah, I wonder why you only see it in high MMR. Cause playing nice would just get you nowhere. I watch like a lot of like competitive videos. Like when you see like those 1v1 people that like single-handedly just loop a killer for like that long, like that doesn't seem necessarily fair.
What, people
like,
play 1v1?
Yeah, people do it all the time for money. There's 1v1 tournaments.
It's just a killer versus survivor?
Yeah.
But then isn't the hatch already there immediately?
No, you can disable it. It's because it's in a custom.
So what does the survivor have to do?
So the way you do it, so the way the tournament works is like you'll switch sides, and whoever you're versing, you play killer once. So basically, it's how fast you down them as killer and how long you last as a survivor. And whoever just has the like greater times is the winner.
So once you're down once, that's it, right?
Well, I think you do it like multiple times, because like one time won't necessarily determine. Because the reason why it's multiple times is because RNG can also be a factor with how loops are. And the thing is, you'll only play on like Macmillan or the one with the key offering. You'll never play on like Ormond or Badham or the artist map.
Ormond is survivor sided?
100%. I honestly, that's why I bring that offering.
Which?
The damaged photo.
What does it do?
It brings you to Ormond. That map is like so free for survivors.
Why? Because it's so big?
Yep, it's so big. Like, loops are very solid. The main building is a huge time waster.
Yeah, I
So,
know
like,
certain maps feel like I lose more on.
well, yeah, it's because they're for survivors. Like, hold on, like get this screenshot real quick.